What's up, everybody? Jason Chico, Mr. Come On Somebody himself, back for another episode of Making Changes. It's going to be awesome. Stay tuned.
Throughout the hard times, we're still making changes. Find the ways to help each other, many similar faces. There's a way.
I wanted to talk about, my surroundings growing up. As in the other episode, I did grow up in the city of La Puente, heavily gang-affiliated neighborhood. I grew up without a father. So if you tuned into that episode, and if you haven't, go ahead and tune into that one before you tune into this one, because you're going to be totally lost. But for the ones that have had tuned in, this is something for you. Stay tuned, and this is awesome because it's going to tell you how to really change your life from something that was nothing to something today. So, as I said, I grew up in a heavily gang-affiliated household. Gang affiliation caused me to be incarcerated. Incarceration, that time incarcerated, I did get out. I served about 4 years in Lancaster State Prison. I also was in Arizona State Prison. Came home, but was I rehabilitated? No. I was just doing my time. Everybody says, just do your time, go home. There was really no programs for me to really work on myself. And it actually made me learn how to be a criminal because I'm around all the professional criminals. So instead of coming home rehabilitated, I just learned how to do other things that I didn't know how to do. So I came home, I paroled, I was on high control parole for about 3 years. 3 years high control parole. The parole officer would constantly come to my house. And if you don't know, whoever hasn't been on parole, when you're on parole, you're still state property. So they can come whenever they want to and search, turn their house around, take everybody out, hands up, mom, grandma on the floor, cousins, uncles on the floor. What's going on? Oh, we're just here for a random search with the guns pointed to your head. Nobody knows what's going on. It's like, Jason, what's going on? Why are they here? Oh, it's just a random search. We understand that. But do I have to get incarcerated again for it? Yes, they incarcerate you again for that. So that's a lot of trauma. A lot of trauma with myself and my family. So I was out, right? I was out for, I finally discharged parole. I don't know how, because I was still getting high. I figured out a way to work the system in that way where I was able to test dirty. I was able to test clean when I was dirty. I would have a bottle of urine ready under the thing, ready for when the parole officer came. I would go to the microwave, go put that bottle of urine in the microwave. When they came, it was warm. So I was able to manipulate my way through that. But was I rehabilitated? Was I really working on myself? Was I really elevating? No, I was still stuck in that old state of mind. So my grandma got sick. My grandma had dementia. So I took care of her for a few years. So when I started taking care of my grandma, she had dementia. At that time, COVID was happening. So that's when I started to disassociate myself with the homies, right? Is when I had to tell them they couldn't come kick it no more because my grandma's elderly. And if they do come kick it and get her sick, I'm going to live with that my whole life. So I disconnected myself with the homies for that moment. And that's where I kind of found myself. It was just me and her, changing her diapers, cooking for her, being her caretaker, but still being in my addiction. And I feel like when she passed, that's where I was born again, kind of, but I still wasn't completely changed. When she passed, I was like, okay, what am I going to do now? What's the plan for me? I was heavily accelerating my addiction because I was mourning her loss. So I was just getting high. But here's a twist to the story. As she passed, I was accelerated in my addiction, but I managed to graduate with an associate's degree in administration of justice. How is that possible? Why? I'm a functioning addict. I mastered how to function going to school, mastered how to function having a job, and I mastered how to function being a family person. But was I accelerating in my life? I was also deteriorating inside. My health I was dying inside. Yeah, I got an associate's degree, but for what? I'm not going to be able to enjoy it because I'm over here in the streets. So my grandma passed away. I got that associate degree. That's when I met Project Hope. And I met, mind you, meeting Project Hope, I was still in my addiction. I was able to be a part of that organization in my addiction. So Project Hope really seen me change my life around. But as I was volunteering for Project Hope, that's when I had my stroke. And after I had my stroke, Project Hope was a huge part of my recovery. They would actually come pick me up. I was in the ICU for 2 weeks. As I came home from the hospital, they picked me up every day and took me with them to trainings. I was lost. I didn't know what was going on. But they're like, you know what? You're going to come with me. You're going to come with us. You're going to learn these trainings. You don't have to do nothing. We just want you involved. Then I ended up getting hired for Project Hope. Mind you, I'm still trying to figure out. I'm a post-stroke survivor. If you don't know what that means, like my memory was affected. I couldn't remember nothing. So Project Hope is exactly what the name says. That spark of hope. Like I was totally to the floor. And mind you, my whole life I've been getting high. Being successful, getting high. Now that I'm not getting high, I'm like, what do? I don't know what dealing with my problems is. I don't know what a man is supposed to be because I thought a man was a gangster in the neighborhood getting high every day. That's what I thought a man was. But now that I'm sober, I realize all these years, I'm 35, 36 years old, and I'm over here trying to be a man, but it's not what it is. A man is taking care of your family. A man is going to school. When I thought a man was in the streets, killing other people, robbing people, I thought that was a man. So now look, I'm over here in my 30s trying to figure out what is a man when everybody else that had normal lives figured out that a long time ago. They went to high school, they graduated, they went to college, they're in universities, they have degrees. I'm over here, I got a little degree, but it doesn't count because I was living wrong. And if I would have moved on with that degree, for what? I'm over here getting high every day, getting this degree. I'm gonna eventually die, which almost happened. So I want to tell you, anybody that's watching out there, if you think that living a crazy life is gonna last forever, getting high is gonna last forever, you're wrong, you're mistaken. The best way to deal with your problems is to be sober, because all the drug does is pushes the problems back 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 years, and then you're like me, 30 years old, and you're trying to figure out what the hell a man is when everybody else knows and everybody else is already accelerated. When you're like, wait, where did the time go by? The drugs mask everything and it makes everything okay. The drugs make you feel confident. After that stroke, I had to recover sober. So I started doing these videos, right? And it was in my car. Every morning in my car, I forced myself to look at myself because the stroke, what the stroke did to my brain was my memory was affected and my image of myself was affected. So when I seen myself in the mirror, I look like a monster to myself. And I'm like, I can't stand what I look like. I don't like how I talk. My speech was a little affected. But the way I fought through that was forcing myself to look at my own videos. So I'm like, you're going to learn to love who you are. You're going to learn to love what you say. Here you are, post it to the world. And you have to be careful when you do postings. You're going to get negative comments. But you have to build your confidence up so much that no matter what they say, that you're still going to be strong. Never give up. Chase your dreams. And these dreams are possible. Every day that you're waking up, there's another chance to chase your dreams. But you want to make your dreams reality. You want to be living, not sleeping while your dream's going on. So never give up. Chase your dreams. And tomorrow is never promised. So if you're thinking about changing, change today. Come on, somebody. Next, I want to talk about my acceleration in school. Since I've been addicted my whole life, I became very smart in school because the drug made me smart, right? So the drugs made me really smart, supposedly. That's what I thought. So I relied on them. So without the drugs, I had to like, hey, is there a program in college that helps people that are addicted or suffering from addiction. And I was like, no, there's no programs that help. So I became a part of this program called Safe Project. And what Safe Project is it brings awareness to the addiction fatality in universities and college around the world. So as I became part of that, they ended up flying me to Washington, San Francisco, and I ended up becoming the president of the We Rise Club at Mount San Antonio College that is specifically for students who are suffering from addiction. So somebody who started fully blown addict made a switch to something to help somebody that was suffering just like me. So this journey is a roller coaster, just like life. But I want to tell you this. I always tell myself, do so much good in the world, do so much good for other people without expecting anything back. And when it's your time to finally get help, because life's a roller coaster, I might be right here, but eventually I'm going to come down sometime. And when I'm coming down, all those people that I've helped, there they are helping me out. Bam, bam, thank you we appreciate it. We remember, here's this, here's that. And that's when you know that you've done so much good that all the good's coming back when you need it. Always do good without expecting anything in return. Always, just the ability to make someone smile is a blessing in itself. The ability to say, hey, you look awesome today. You look great. Those are great shoes. Oh, you do your hair? Look at how beautiful you look. Just that day might give somebody the confidence to keep going. They might be wanting to give up. That might be their last day, but you gave them that compliment to keep going, and now they changed their life, and now you're a part of somebody's testimony. I always say you can't have a testimony without a test. And I want to say testimony because I'm going to go into this next subject of the church. Before my stroke, I wasn't involved in the church at all. I had no higher power. My higher power was my drug. That made me feel complete. So after the stroke, I had to get sober. So I was empty inside because my whole life the drug was fulfilling me. It was fulfilling my every need. So now I was like, what am I going to do? I'm sober. What? I'm empty. So I remembered I Googled the church, and it Googled me to some church, and I haven't left ever since. And now I am a part of that church, and now I am very blessed to have people around me that I would have never thought I would be around. I remember I was looking for that church, and I pulled up, and I asked one of the guys in front, and I asked him, hey, what time does the service start? And they go, 9:00, brother, God bless you. And when they said God bless you, it felt good. And I was like, you know what? I want more of that. Just that word, it caught me, and I never left. I even just got baptized a couple weeks ago, and baptized, like, what? Me? It's crazy, but it took that stroke to finally scare the shit out of me to change. And sometimes that's what people need. And sometimes people don't make it. Sometimes people just end their lives because they don't have that confidence. But I'm telling you, never give up. You are more precious to this world than you think. And I believe in you. But before I can believe in you, you have to believe in yourself, right? And you're going to get knocked down. I'm not saying that I have it figured out. When I started school again after my stroke, I failed 3 semesters, everything. And from someone who's getting scholarships to getting the associate's degree, and I failed, that completely, I was like, you know what? My education is gone. So I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. So I started, I'm a part of the disabilities program at Mount San Antonio College. It's called the Access Program. Shout out to the Access Program. What the Access Program is, it's the same. We do the same material. English, math, everything is the same material as the other students, but we have more resources. We have more tutors, but it's up to us. I could blame it on the school saying, hey, I can't get it, but it's up to me to make those tutoring appointments, which I'm always there. If I wasn't here right now, I'll be at a tutoring appointment. But I just want to tell you, like, it's up to you. It's truly up to you. Like, if you're failing, attempt it again. And if you fail that one, attempt it again. Each fail, you're learning something new. You're learning, say you pass with 32%. The next time, you have 32% of that knowledge you're taking to the next time. Say you have 52% the next time. That's still two F's. But now you're combining those, that's 70%. Now the third time, you have 80% until you get it. But I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but you have to learn how to not care about when you fail. Who cares what other people think? So what if you're attempting it 6, 7 times? As long as you get it, and as long as you're getting the knowledge, that's all that matters. Project Hope in Pomona, California, Jaime and Roberta really have an awesome organization there. You know, it's really what the name is, hope. What is hope? Hopes, people have hopes and dreams, but what are they? It's keeping those dreams alive. And that's what I think Project Hope is just hope. Like some of us have no hope. But what Project Hope does is it creates a spark, like a little sparkle within us that starts to shine, that starts to brighten, like a diamond in the sky. And it starts to shine bright, like the song Rihanna, "Shine Bright Like a Diamond." I feel like Project Hope is that diamond shining bright eventually, but it starts low. And I just want to highlight, how I started working there. I started volunteering for a whole year. I volunteered religiously. I felt like I needed to, because I was empty inside. And Project Hope fulfilled that emptiness just by volunteering. I was over there doing pop ups. They do community pop ups for the neighborhoods, projects, any neighborhood that really needs resources that everybody's too scared to go into. Project Hope is going in there and putting tents up, giving diapers, formulas, and people need it, right? So I want to say, when I had my stroke, Project Hope, Roberta and Jaime, they would pick me up every day and take me to their trainings and everything, and it just, they really became family. It's something that I just thought was a job turned into something that I actually love and actually love going to, and the friendships that were built was all genuine. Like, hey, wake up. It was 2 weeks after I came out the hospital. They're like, okay, you spent 2 weeks sleeping. Wake up. You're not going to have to do anything. We're going to pick you up. We have some trainings to go to. I remember it was in Watts. So we're going to go to Watts. We have some trainings for this new program we're having. And just come with us. And I remember we would have these breakout sessions with case managers and all these people that are already established. And I'm coming in, stroke survivor, and I'm over here like not remembering things, but they made me feel like I was important. They made me feel like, go ahead, Bugs. They call me Bugs because I like to dance. Anyways, back to the story. But like they made me feel like I wasn't like slow at the time, because right now I may be talking fast and you guys may be like, damn, he's a good speaker. It wasn't always like this. When I came out of the hospital, I was like this, like, hey, is everything okay? Hey, hi, everything good. It took confidence and it took the support from Project Hope to really give my voice. I remember Project Hope, after that, they let me do these drug awareness classes. And I was just talking real low to the kids, like reading it off the paper. And I remember Jaime and Roberta told me, hey, when you talk to these kids, speak with emotion. Let them know the struggle. Speak to them. The way you're talking is just to the paper. They have to know what's out there. And ever since then, that's what created this voice. Like, that's what created this person that's, come on, somebody, let's get it. It's because somebody told me, let them feel it. Like, let them feel what you feel, because if you don't, these kids are going to get lost and think it's cool to do drugs and think it's cool to do crime in the neighborhood. Let these kids know what you've been through. Let them see the pain and speak with them with emotion. And that's what I do today. Come on, somebody. I get you fucked up. Hey, I'm going to start dancing right now. I want to talk about, like, especially, like, since I put myself out there as always submitting videos of support, videos of motivation, the feedback isn't always isn't always positive. It's like, bro, you're whack. Like, what are you doing? It's like me as a person that's building myself up. Still, like, it still hurts when I hear that. Like, what do you mean? And it makes me like kind of like not wanting to do it no more. But we have to know that we're gonna change someone's mood for that day. I get messages sometimes. I know, honey, you were talking about this, that people that sometimes we don't know personally, but they watch our things on Instagram or something, it affects them. So as long as I know that I affect people positive, because I get in my inbox, I have a lot of thank you, Jason. I really needed that this morning. I was really having a bad day, and I look forward to your positive videos every morning, and I try to spit out my videos every morning because I know in the morning is when we have our most troubles. It's like I'm not having a bad hair day. These I just got a coffee stain on my shirt. Like these shoes don't match my shirt. Like it's just like everything's going in. It's so negative. So I want when people are maybe driving to work or to school to hear, you're awesome, you're great, you're worth it, don't give up, keep going, because that's what we need. Because once we get off of that car, our work environments sometimes are not healthy. So I want to get you pumped up with that positivity to fight that negativity, so you're kind of balanced. Like, you know what? Here's this positive, here I go with this negative. It kind of cancels each other out, but you're able to survive because somebody told you that you're awesome. Somebody told you that you're great. Somebody told you that you're beautiful. Somebody told you that you're awesome. And somebody told you that you deserve to be happy. So don't let other people take you down, but you also got to create a surrounding where you have those positive influences, where it's whether it's you know them personally or you know them online. I know now Instagram is out there. If you could be a positive influence, why not? People make so much money on negativity. It's easy to make money to be negative because that's what everybody feeds into. But how about let's change it and let's be positive and flood everybody's thing where they can't when they can't miss it. Send it out to people that you usually don't. Send it out to people that you really don't get along with. Send them those messages. Because maybe the reason why you don't get along with them is because they're always fed negativity. So maybe you need to change the narrative and be that positive source to make them want to change. Come on, somebody. Get me pumped up.
But it's true because, like we were talking about, sometimes you don't know who you might help with.
Yeah.
A little bit. And we all, you know, sometimes people are like, I feel a little goofy just like saying positive affirmations to myself.
Yeah.
But once you do it a little bit more and a little bit more, and each day, like for example, females, they tell you like, look at yourself in the mirror and say something positive about yourself. We're gonna kill it today. We got this shit, you know. And then if you keep on doing it, at first you're like, oh, I don't want to say that because you already know it's me, you know.
Yeah.
But then after a while, you're like, okay, it's not so fun. It's not so weird as I thought it was. It's not as weird as I thought it was.
Yeah.
And little by little, you're just like, you know what? I'm gonna go to Jason's thing because I need that. Come on, somebody.
Yeah, no. Even like the school, like Mount Sac, like I was able to like be on so many podcasts within the school, like and talk about my overcoming addiction within the school, and I was able to become the Voices Mount Sac podcast and also a podcast for students with disabilities. And that's my main thing. Like as being a individual with a disability and being a student with a disability is a whole nother level because now we're having these college courses. We have a disability, but we're still doing the same coursework because the requirements are the same. So it's like, hey man, like I can't do this. It's too hard. But you really have to know that whatever happened with your disability was supposed to happen. Like, we can't change God's narrative. Like, this is what he wanted to wake me up. Yeah, I had the stroke. But also, after the stroke, I don't have my addiction no more. It's crazy. So, something so horrible that almost killed me, right? At the time, I didn't think of it as being, like, the best thing that ever happened to me. Because I was like, what the heck? I need to go back to work. I need to go back to school. My bills are piling up. I got things to pay. But I didn't realize at the time that my addiction was gone. Like, and now I am so scared to do anything. It scared the shit out of me. The stroke, none of that. And that's what I needed. And sometimes that's what people need a wake up call. It's sad to say that sometimes the wake up call is not making it. Sometimes people don't realize it before it's too late, and they end up losing their life because they don't know the importance of their life. But I'm so glad that I was able to have a second chance come with the stroke, with the massive stroke, brain aneurysm, meningitis, inflammation of the brain and spine. I wasn't supposed to make it. There's a reason why I'm here, and that reason is part of the reason why I'm here on the Making Changes podcast, because that's my mission now, to make a change. And if you want to you want to be the change, you have to make it first. So show people what it is to change, because a lot of the homies in the hood don't know what change is because everything's the same. This happens, this happens, this happens, this happens. We keep it in the hood. We don't know anything outside of the hood. We don't go to universities. We don't go to here. Only university we go to is prison. So let's make those universities not prison, but actually Cal State LA, Cal State Fullerton, because that street knowledge is a degree in itself. Because you learn how to hustle through those streets. Take those same hustles and use them in your classes. Don't give up. Hustle till you get that good grade. Just like you hustled for that dope, just like you hustled to whatever thing you had going on. Hustle for your education the way you hustled in them streets, and then you're gonna be twice as smart as everybody. Because when you get that degree, you have that associate's, master's, PhD, also with that street degree. With a lot of them people that are higher ups don't have that street knowledge. So you're gonna take something and you're gonna become better at it than the people that don't have that street knowledge. So everybody says you're from the streets. That's so ghetto. No, we have that street knowledge, that street degree that other people pay for, but we don't pay for it because we pay for it in the streets. Come on, somebody. Hey, you give me. I'm getting chanced out right here.
Handle, boogie your way.
Hey. They're not like us. They're not. So, yeah.
Do you, how did you get into the school?
Mount San Antonio College.
Because you're helping out with the kids at the school, or what are you doing?
I'm actually I'm actually a student, but I was able to I'm a part of the Rising Scholars program. Rising Scholars is a program for previously incarcerated students. Shout out to Dr. Joe Luis Hernandez for creating a space for us, and a doctor that's actually been through the system, that actually knows what we need. That's awesome. That's like a doctor writing the prescription for when you're sick, but he's writing a prescription for what we're sick in school, not physically, but what we need to be better in our schoolwork. So it's like, okay, what do we need as previously incarcerated students to give us an equal opportunity as everybody else? There he is. Bam. This is what we need. We need more funding. We need free books. We need tutors we need our own center just for previously incarcerated students. So I want to give a shout out to the Rising Scholars, Joe Lewis, and just for creating that space, because we think of being incarcerated, it's like it's over. It's over. We have a record now. And I want to get into having a record. Just because you have a record does not mean it's over. There are so many programs and there are ways to get your record expunged. And I'm going to tell you that I did have my violent felony, 211 robbery, and all my 8 misdemeanors, evasion from the cops, drug possession, whatever you could call it, everything expunged. This was after my stroke. I had just had it expunged after my stroke. I was in the courtroom all still a little weird because I was just coming back from my stroke. But that's another blessing. I had the stroke. I almost died. And then I get paperwork from the courts. And I'm thinking it's bad, but it's actually to go get my record expunged. And I just want to tell you, if you want to change, you have to be the change first. But it's going to take time. You're not just going to, one day say, hey, I'm changed. You're going to get knocked down a few times. But you need those people that know what's up, like a doctor, and be like, hey, I've been through what you've been through. This is how you get your record expunged. This is how you get extra money for books. This is how you get your tuition paid. This is how you get a part of the Department of Rehabilitation. What the Department of Rehabilitation, DOR, is if you've been to prison, they will pay for your tuition all the way up to your doctorates. associates, masters, bachelors, doctorates, all the way up there if you have been to prison because they view it as a disability. So if you're into school, look up the Department of Rehabilitation. They pay for your parking permits, your books, your gas, anything. But you have to do good in school. It's not a freebie. They look at your grades and, okay, you're doing good. You're going to go to Cal State. We're going to pay for your tuition. And as you know, community colleges give you your financial aid. Once you go to a Cal States are expensive. You don't see none of that financial aid. So if you have the Department of Rehabilitation paying for it, just because you've been to prison, take advantage of it. Why not? It's there. It's for you. And if you don't, then you have nobody else to blame but yourself. Don't be that one looking at time go by and that could have been me, and seeing the other person that was next to you in that cell doing awesome, getting his PhD because he chose to take the services that were around him. You just got to search. You have to want more for yourself and never give up. Chase your dreams and know that street knowledge is a degree in itself because we know how to hustle. We know how to survive. We've been in life and death situations. So take that hustle and put it in a positive view and put it towards your school to where you know now that you're never going to give up, because when you wanted that dope, you never gave up till you got it, right? You're feeding so hard for that dope. Now I'm feeding so hard for my grades. I need a feed for an A+. Come on, somebody. Feeding for grades, that's a good one. Yeah. Feeding for grades. Feeding for your grades like you feed for that dope.
That's right.
Get me pumped up.
You need to start making shirts with like the sayings that you.
They've been telling me like I need to like trademark it. Come on, somebody. Come on now. And you know that come on, somebody just started when I started going to church. Because you know how to say, come on, somebody. This is what the word is. Come on, somebody. And I ran with it, not knowing that it was gonna be so popular. So I went to it was in Santa Ana College. It was like a university. It was like they were having a pop-up for all the programs that help previously incarcerated students. The university, it was in, I forgot which college, but I didn't know that when I showed up, everybody was saying, come on, somebody. I was like, wait, I thought nobody, I didn't think.
Excuse me?
I was like, wait. Then come on, somebody. Like, I ended up knowing people, not really knowing them, but they were following me. And some of them were from Cal State Long Beach, Project Rebound, Underground Scholars, Rising Scholars. And what Project Rebound is also a university level for previously incarcerated students. And the Underground Scholars is a private college, but for Underground Scholars is also for previously incarcerated students. So I thought I didn't know anybody. I thought, yeah, I'm gonna be cool. I'm just gonna go kick it real quick. And then everybody's like, come on, somebody. But that's how you know the power of your voice. Without me even knowing these people, the come on somebody reached their level and now they're saying it, but it's to a positive, like, come on somebody. I think of come on somebody as like somebody that's lost. Like, oh, like I'm done. It's like, you know what? Come on somebody, come follow me. Follow this. I've been through a lot of what you've been through. But if I didn't want to make that change, it would have never happened. So make that first step and come on somebody.
How does it feel now? Now that you're seeing a completely different life than what you're used to, because you're used to the streets.
Yeah.
How does that feel now that you're just like out here exposed to something completely different that you would have never thought you would be involved in?
It's crazy. I wake up every morning, and it's not like a wild crazy. It's just like I can't believe that I'm actually in the flow of things, like sober. Before I used to go to school all loaded and like, damn, I was like, man, I can't wait till I don't want this feeling on me. Like, I would pray all the time, like, I want this addiction to go away, but I was still addicted. Like, I would say that prayer, but then I would be like, you know what, I need to get high because I need to stay up for the school. But, you know, just seeing the world now, I'm calm I'm all paranoid, like I'm over here going to school tripping on who's next to me, like driving around fast, like doing unnecessary things, and it's all in my head. That's what the drugs do. The drugs make you think that things are there that are not really there, and it kind of holds your gift. Like my gift always in my life, now I know is speaking. I would have never knew that gift if I would never got sober, because that drug was holding me down. I never wanted to go and make a video because I wanted to go get high in the restroom or my room somewhere. So as soon as that addiction was lifted, I'm able to speak now because I'm not worried about like, I need to hurry up and go home. I want to. Is it connecting to be there? If the connect ain't there, I need another connect. Like I need something to keep me up because I got class tomorrow. But now it's just like I wake up, I listen to my spiritual music. That's key. I read the Bible in the morning. I start my coursework, and I'm calm. And if I get stressed out, I put on spiritual music, and just to get me like through the drive. I get to school, I get out the car, and I go about my day. But before it was totally different. But the change I see now is like somebody that's finally happy, like finally like smile, like. And I was talking to one of my counselors from Mount Sac, Rising Scholars, and she was saying, Jason, you look alive now. And I was like, really? She goes, yeah, you looked like you were like dead inside. And I go, really? I never thought that. I thought I looked fine like we all do when we're all loaded. Oh, yeah, I look fine. Nobody knows I'm high. But somebody was paying attention and they're like, we knew you were high, but it's not our place to judge. We just helped you through the journey to get what you needed. But we could tell. I'm like, what? I thought it was fooling the world. But no, we're only fooling ourselves. Like all we're doing is just forgetting our problems. So just, the stroke really, really catapulted me into my spirituality and learning about God and all that stuff. Before I was ashamed about it. Now I'm not, because I know that God is the one that put me here and this Making Changes podcast right here. Come on, somebody. I want to tell everybody, definition of a gangster. What is it, right? Everybody has different answers to that. And it's like a gangster is someone in the streets, hustles, protects your neighborhood. But a gangster can also be someone who changes their life and takes care of their family. So what kind of G are you? I'm not saying one's better than the other, but you have the choice. I'm a G, but I choose to be a capital G, right? But we're still G's, but it's like, what do you want to do? Like, I'm still a G. I still from my neighborhood, but I also chose to change the narrative of a G. A G is also someone who goes to school. A G turns his life around and getting to talk about the journey. And it's not downgrading the other G's. You guys still are G's. We're G's. We're all G's together. But I think the biggest G in this world is God. Come on, somebody. Mm-hmm. I did it right. Come on.
Have you ever thought about being a pastor?
Or
is that just too much for you?
No, I've thought about it. I've barely been thinking about it. Barely, like, I've been getting more involved in the church. Like, you go to church and then you leave. And then, but they kind of ask you, hey, would you like to have this job? And, I got offered to be one of the light people on how they have the services and the light people on top. So that, I guess that's a part of that. And I also got offered through the church to be a drug awareness, co-facilitate a co-awareness course for the REACH program and the Victory Outreach, West Covina. So I know that God's pushing me, like, look, these opportunities. When do you have an opportunity to be a part of something like this? God's telling me, like, hey, you want to co-facilitate? Do you want to just be a part of it? Do you want to be a part of the lighting crew? And it's like, you know what? That's my new journey. Like, making space in this busy life with school, work, personal life, and everything else. And it's just like, wait, I need to slow it down and give thanks to the reason why I'm here. God, everybody has a different belief, but I truly believe God is what saved me, and God is what giving me the voice to speak to you guys. And I just want to tell you, never be ashamed to say his name. Never be ashamed to pray. Everybody has their own beliefs, but whatever you find that motivates you, stick to it and just create positivity, create love. There's so much hate in the world. Why do we need to hate on each other, right? Even if I'm having a bad day, I'm still gonna go out of my way to compliment somebody. Man, you look good today. Wow, what's going on? You look extra good. That's nice. You've been doing good on these assignments. This looks nice. Like, always go out of your way to make someone smile because you don't know what they're going through. A lot of the times they'll be like, "Why is this person so rude?" Well, do we know what's going on at home? Maybe they have the worst time at home. That's why they're going through it. But you have to be able and patient with yourself and with them to understand that and be like, why? But I feel like some of us are not ready for the why yet because we're still focused on what we are and what are we becoming. But once we figure out what we're becoming, we can figure out why we act like this and understand why, oh, that's why they're acting like that. And how can I help to change it and change their mood? Because, you know, when they go home, it could be a dangerous situation. Not everybody goes home to a quiet home. Sometimes they're crazy, but I just want to tell you, you know, just stay positive and spread positivity around the world. What's up, everybody? We just wrapped up episode with Making Changes podcast, and I just want to tell you to stay tuned for future updates. What's going on? Because I got a few things brewing, few things in the making that I'm excited to share, but not yet because they're still in the making. But stay tuned if you want to find tips on changing your life. If you want to find tips on staying positive, stay tuned. This is not the end. Come on, somebody.